Hello everyone. Ruben Amorim. Europa League is Manchester United's top priority now. Ruben Amorim has emphasized the significance of Manchester United's upcoming Europa League semi-final second leg on Thursday, following a heart-wrenching 4-3 defeat in the Premier League on Sunday. The Red Devils' dismal run in the league has now stretched to 6 matches, despite a spirited late comeback that saw Alejandro Garnacho and Amad Diallo find the back of the net, albeit too late to change the outcome. However, buoyed by their impressive 3-0 victory over Athletic Bilbao in the first leg, United are acutely aware that their route to Champions League football hinges on clinching the Europa League title. Amorim expressed the strain of recent losses, stating, "I think it's stressful to lose games. When we're fighting for a title, it's not stressful." His team currently sits in 15th place, but he remains optimistic about their form. "I have no doubt that we are playing better, and we are understanding the way we play, even in this context," he added. He underscored the need for resilience, saying, "We are losing games but we are fighting for the Europa League, so we need to accept that, and to think about now Thursday, which is the most important game for us." Brentford's victory was propelled by a brace from Kevin Shade, along with a Luke Shaw own goal and Young Wiss's 18th goal of the season, after Mason Mount initially put United ahead. Amorim reflected on the depth of responsibility his club faces in the Europa League, noting, "We, as a club, need to understand in this moment that we have a big responsibility to win the Europa League. We have to prepare a squad for different competitions." He made 8 changes to his starting lineup, emphasizing the importance of rotation for player readiness. "Rotation is good for the players. Everybody is playing. We are preparing more than one game, but it's hard. Of course we want to be competitive. We struggled a lot during these 90 minutes." He acknowledged, stressing the importance of focusing on the next match while managing the rigors of the Premier League. Brentford capitalized on an injury to Matthijs de Ligt, who was substituted during the match and is now a doubt for the crucial European clash. Thomas Frank, Brentford's manager, expressed his sympathy for the situation, saying, "Yeah, I definitely have sympathy about de Ligt and, it's clear that they struggle in many ways." He acknowledged the difficulties that come with football, adding, "When you are in football, the struggles are part of football, but you just know it is not nice. Of course, it's a tricky situation, so I hope de Ligt is okay." Wayne Rooney calls out Ruben Amorim with brutal assessment of Man United. "It's strange. Manchester United were beaten 4-3 by Brentford on Sunday after Ruben Amorim picked an inexperienced side, and Wayne Rooney was fuming as he dissected their performance." Wayne Rooney has given a scathing assessment of Manchester United under Ruben Amorim after their 4-3 defeat by Brentford on Sunday. Amorim picked an inexperienced team to face the Bees and saw his side beaten for the 16th time in the Premier League this season. Brentford raced into a 4-1 lead before United scored 2 late goals to close the gap, but it was ultimately another disappointing day for Amorim and his players. They have now gone 6 league games without a win and sit 15th in the Premier League table. With Thursday's Europa League semi-final second leg against Athletic Bilbao the clear priority, Amorim named the 3rd youngest Premier League starting 11 of any club. Youngsters Cheeto Obi Martin, Harry Amas and Tyler Fredrickson were all handed opportunities, but did not impress. However, United legend Rooney was more critical of Amorim and the more experienced players who were out there. Speaking on Match of the Day 2, he called out Kobbie Mainoo for switching off for 2 of Brentford's goals and Amorim for fielding substitute Amad Diallo out of position at right wing-back and for putting a disjointed team together which put no pressure on the ball and lacked intensity. Expanding on Rooney's points, ex-Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy said, "It is about intensity, but with wing-backs, different to a back four, it allows you to go and press because you've got the extra center half behind you. But surely that's what they do in training, no? If you're a coach of a system, the basics of this system with wingbacks is they press the wide men quick, and it doesn't look like they're doing it. It's bizarre for me to see. Rooney replied, "It's strange, because that's why you play a back five with wingbacks. They have to put pressure on the ball, or otherwise you get outnumbered in the midfield, and the ball comes back into midfield. It was strange, but they had a lot of young players. There was a lack of movement and a lack of know-how on the pitch," he added. "They've got a 17-year-old lad up front, the youngest ever to start up front for United, and they're just launching balls up to him. I really felt for Obi today because you can tell he's inexperienced, but it looked like he had no help. They were just throwing balls up to him," Murphy added. "I get that there's young players. I understand that, and they're playing against good teams. But Amorim, only plays one system. He's not mixing things up, personnel and system, and he's been there a while now." When you play a system that much, and you work on it in training, surely we can see more improvement, irrelevant of who is playing because they should be organized in that system. Rooney responded, "You'd think so, but I think the..." Football news. Ruben Amorim makes bold Man United statement as ref body demand more cash. Ruben Amorim was left to explain another Manchester United defeat as they lost at Brentford, with the Premier League teams told they need to invest if they want better refereeing. Manchester United and Arsenal were both left to digest defeats at the weekend, with the Red Devils shipping 4 at Brentford, as Ruben Amorim named a much-changed lineup. The Gunners meanwhile are now looking over their shoulder, with Manchester City closing in on them in second. Pep Guardiola's side continued their winning run on Friday, furthering their Champions League push, and now sit just 3 points off Mikel Arteta's side. Liverpool meanwhile played for the first time as champions as they headed to Chelsea. In the hunt for the top 5, Newcastle rescued a late point at Brighton whilst Aston Villa secured a crucial win over Fulham. 3 games remain in the Premier League season with all eyes on the hunt for the Champions League. Before that, Arsenal will look to recover their European tie at PSG as we take a look at what's making the headlines. Amorim confident on improvements despite no wins in 6. The United manager has no doubt they are playing better, despite them shipping 4 during their loss in West London. The Red Devils are without a win in 6, losing 4 of those matches. In the process, they conceded 4 at Newcastle and Brentford whilst goals had been a problem. Their coach, though, insists they are moving in the right direction, but has maintained that their focus is on their European campaign after making mass change to his team. He said, "I have no doubt that we are playing better. So we have to take all the heat. At this moment, we are losing games in the Premier League. We are fighting for the Europa League, and Thursday is the most important game for us." Amorim also added, "We started well, we controlled quite well, and then throw-ins and set pieces was a problem for us, but that is normal for us because we didn't have the height with the team." Ref warning to clubs. Howard Webb will tell Premier League clubs that they must invest in long-term budgets if they want to see an improvement in the officiating across the division. The Professional Match Officials Limited, PGMOL, chief will reportedly announce new losses of nearly £1 million next week. That figure comes in addition to losses suffered last year that saw a £379,000 figures adjusted to £1.8 million. That means the group now have a loss of £3.4 million totaled over the last 3 years. Webb will make it clear to those across the top flight that they will need to increase their budgets if they want to see the standard of refereeing improve. VR's introduction back in 2019 has added greater scrutiny, but has also seen a huge rise in costs. Ole hammers McTominay's sale. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has doubled down on his claim that United made a huge blunder by selling Scott McTominay. The Red Devils Academy.